Okay, first grade. Today we are going to read another fable. This one is called The Maid and the Milk Pail. And we're going to split this one up into 2 days too. All right. So, our learning objectives for this lesson are to review and identify characteristics of fables, including characters, plot, setting, and moral. We're also going to be able to demonstrate an understanding of the word balanced, which just means we're going to be able to know what the word balance means, and we're going to be able to use it in a sentence. We will also be able to summarize or retell the events of a fable, and we're going to be able to identify key information from a fable. Our key vocabulary for this lesson is balanced, jealous, milkmaid, and plumpest. Balanced is an adjective, and it means steadied or not likely to fall. An example of the word balanced in a sentence is, the tightrope walker appeared to be well balanced on the high wire. Look at that guy. Look at how well balanced he is. He does not look like he's falling, but I would be afraid that I would fall if I were him. What about you? The next word we have is jealous. Jealous is an adjective, and it means wanting what another person has. I know I've felt jealous before. What about you? Have you ever felt jealous? Well, I want you to tell me, using the word jealous, a time where you felt jealous. Here's an example of using the word jealous in a sentence. Timothy was jealous of Carla's new puppy. I would be jealous if Carla got a new puppy too. The next word is milkmaid. Milkmaid is a noun. A milkmaid is a girl or woman who milks cows. An example of using the word milkmaid in a sentence would be, the milkmaid took 3 buckets of milk back to the house. Our next word is plumpest, and it is also an adjective. And plumpest means the fattest or the fullest. Go ahead and look at that picture of that piggy right there. He looks pretty plump to me. A way of using plumpest in a sentence could be, Habiba would only sleep on the plumpest pillows. So she likes fat pillows or full pillows. I don't. I like squishy pillows. All right. We are going to review the fable we read last time, okay? So last time we met, we read The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Do you remember that? Here's the picture from it. We also talked about what a fable is. Remember that a fable is a short story that is intended to teach a lesson or a moral of the story. Excuse me. Thinking about fables teaching lessons, why is The Boy Who Cried Wolf considered a fable? So how do we know that The Boy Who Cried Wolf is a fable? Exactly. It teaches us a lesson, right? Do you remember what that lesson was? What was the lesson of The Boy Who Cried Wolf? It was not to lie, right? We learned that we shouldn't lie because if we lie, then people aren't going to believe us when we're actually telling the truth. Do you remember the name of the man who collected all of the fables like The Boy Who Cried Wolf? He has a weird name. Aesop. So before we get started on our new read aloud, I do want to go over some things that you might not know already. So here we go. Today we are going to read another one of Aesop's fables. This fable focuses on one character. When there's clearly one most important character, he or she is called the main character. Okay? So when we have a lot of characters, but it's just one of them that is really important, that's the main character. The main character in today's story is a milkmaid, and a milkmaid is a woman who milks cows. Hey, we just learned about that in our key vocabulary. So can you tell me what's a milkmaid's job? To milk cows, right? I want you to look at this picture over here. This is a dairy cow, and this is a dairy cow being milked, okay? In kindergarten, if you came to DCA last year, you learned about dairy farms when you learned all about farms. So you might already know some stuff about cows and milking cows. Have any of you ever milked a cow? Or maybe seen somebody milk a cow? I have not, but I would really like to. I think it would be really cool. If you look here in this picture, you can see a milk pail. Do you see it right there? A milk pail is going to play an important role in the story that you're going to hear today. Remember, our key vocabulary words were balanced, jealous, milkmaid, and plumpest. Anytime that you hear me say one of those words in my story, I want you to raise your hand so that I know that you are paying attention to our key vocabulary and to our story. I also want you to listen carefully to find out how an incident with a milk pail helps teach the milkmaid a lesson, okay? Peggy the milkmaid was going to market. A milkmaid, remember, is a woman who works milking cows. There, she planned to sell the fresh, sweet milk in the pail that she had learned to carry balanced on her head. That means that Peggy knew how to keep the pail on her head without it tipping over as she walked. That's a pretty cool trick. As she went along, she began thinking about what she would do with the money she would get for the milk. I'll buy the plumpest or fattest chickens from Farmer Brown, she said, and they will lay eggs each morning. When those eggs hatch, I'll have more chickens. Then I'll sell some of the chickens and some of the eggs, and that money will be enough for me to buy the blue dress that I've wanted and some blue ribbon to match. What does Peggy plan to do with the milk? She's planning to sell it, right? Do you think that that's a good plan? Do you think that it makes sense? I think so. Oh, I'll look so lovely that all the boys will want to dance with me at the fair, and all the other girls will be jealous. Jealous is one of our words, isn't it? So Peggy's thinking that the other girls are going to wish that they all looked as lovely as she does. And when she wears the new dress, she thinks that she's going to get all the boys' attention. But I don't care. I'll just toss my head at them like this. Oh my goodness, my hair. What do you guys think is going to happen when she does that with her head? What do you think is going to happen? Think about what she was balancing on her head. She tossed her head back. The pail flew off and the milk spilled all over the road. How do you think Peggy feels right now? Probably not so good, right? Why do you think she wouldn't feel good? Because the milk that she just got is spilled all over the road, and now she's not going to be able to sell it, to buy the chickens, to sell the chickens, to buy her dress, right? So Peggy had to return home and tell her mother what had happened. Ah, my child, said her mother, don't count your chickens before they're hatched. What do you think her mom meant by that? What does that mean? Don't count your chickens before they're hatched means not to count on everything or not to expect everything to go exactly as you planned, because if they don't go exactly as you planned them, you might be disappointed. Have you guys ever had that happen to you? I know I have. I had planned for us to be back in school, and I wanted us to be back in school. So when I found out that we weren't going to be back in school, I was pretty sad. All right. Now I want you to think of a time when something didn't go to plan for you. And I want you to think about that. And we're going to talk a little bit more about it tomorrow when we do the other part of this story. Okay? All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this story, and I will see you later.